Doezsha.B's Productions.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy Doezsha.B from Doezsha.B Exotics. Coming at you with something new today. Went to the pet store and wanted to check it out. And it was a pet store that I've seen driving around town and haven't been in there yet. So I decided to stop by today. Me and my girl went in, and lo and behold, they had a couple of nice looking tarantulas. This right here is common name is on the container, Mexican red knee. Scientific name is the B.smithi or smithi. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. I would say smithi or smithi. But right now I'm going to get her set up, and I do believe it's a girl. The guy that sold her to us said that, well, my question to him was, has she molted, or has the tarantula molted lately? And he said, yeah, it molted a while ago. And he said he sexed it and it was female. So if you don't know much about tarantulas, the only way you can tell the sex of a tarantula is by examining the inside of the moat. There's a couple identifying marks, but like right here on the abdomen, here on the inside of the moat, there's like a little flap, and there will be like little, I can't explain it. It's hard to explain. I can't remember the proper term of name for it right now off the top of my head. It's been a while, but it's basically use the motes to determine the sex of the spider or tarantula. Visually, there is no sexual dimorphism, if I said that correctly. So I'm gonna get her set up. What I'm gonna do is take the Starlight tub. I'm gonna put some ventilation holes in here. I wasn't planning on getting her. I was actually just stopping in to see what they got and see if this guy was interested in buying the male spider ball python that I had. And because I noticed that they said that they buy animals there too, so I was stopping in to check it out and just make some contacts in a new town. So what I'm gonna do right now is put some ventilation holes around here. After I do that, I'm going to contain her. And this is a couple things that I do not recommend if you are into keeping tarantulas or you just not get into it. You don't want to put a lot of food items in there. It was only like one cricket in there at first when I got there, and the guy threw a couple extra ones in after I got her and paid for her. It's not good to leave a lot of prey items in there with them. It's not good at all. And another thing that's not good is sponges. You don't want to use sponges for their water source. They can get water from the sponge, but sponges harbor bacteria, so you don't want to do that. First, what I'm going to do is get a little F10, get this little spray down, clean it out. I got a bunch of these at a grocery store that's near my house called Smith's. They had these on sale, 5 packs of these for $2.10. So I bought like 4 or 5 packs. Couldn't believe it. They're like 6-quart shoe boxes. And they were pretty cool because they came with the gray tops. I was just looking at the ones at Walmart that had the black tops. Like, man, that'd be nice. I wanted to use them for egg boxes for incubation, but this incubator that I have in this room right now is my larger one, and they don't fit in quite all the way. They touch the door, and I don't want to take a chance of the door popping open and losing heat and temperature and all that stuff. So yeah, we're not going to use those. I have some different shoe boxes in there right now with a smaller footprint as far as this way here, a little bit different dimensions. We'll get a little mix with some water and wipe it down just to make sure. I mean, I know F10 is safe and everything, but so I'm going to wipe it down a little bit more. Get that wiped down. And this is going to be a temporary setup. I'm going to do another video later on. I'll probably get, because she's going to be like one of my displays. Figure out a spot. Just think about making a small rack and having the displays of a couple of tarantulas. I have her, and then I have a.seemanni, which is a Costa Rican zebra. It's Afropelma, or a phonopelma. I don't know how you pronounce that. I say Afropelma. Seemanni, which is a Costa Rican zebra. And I'm going to set both of these up in 2.5 gallons. I've used them in the past. If any of you guys have a account on Arachno boards, I have a bunch of pictures up there from like 2007, 2006 when I had a massive collection of tarantulas before my son was born. And I got out of keeping it. I took that off, changed it over, didn't even use it. Okay. But yeah, when I moved, I had sold all of my tarantulas to different members in we had a San Francisco Bay Area Tarantula Society, and we used to have meetings. And I had a female B.smithi. It was maybe 1 molt bigger than this, and a good breeder goes by the name of Ken the Bug Guy. Actually got her from, I sold her to him. So he's a good guy, and he's a well-known breeder. And he used to live in Concord, California, back when I lived in Berkeley, California, and he was part of the San Francisco Bay Area Tarantula Society. But he brought my female B.smithi and I think a couple of other spiders, a couple of tarantulas that I had. I'm not sure which ones, but I remember the story that she went to him. And didn't want to sell her, but we were moving with family at the time, and they weren't too big on having a bunch of tarantulas there. And I had to make a decision between trying to break in like a couple of people and get them used to having tarantulas, and then or just focus on my kid. I just chose to focus on my kid at the time. So now we're in another time. So he's older. He's 10 now. And now I am allowed again to have tarantulas. That's just a little bit about me. But yeah, like I was saying, if you're a member of the Arachno boards, you can check me out on Arachno boards. It's the same name as my YouTube channel, Doezsha.B, or I think it's just Doezsha, or on Arachno boards. And you can check out my picture thread. Got a lot of pictures. I've got a lot of comments and compliments on my naturalistic enclosures that I used to do. So that's what I'm going to do with this girl here, or if he's a guy, this guy. Set up a naturalistic enclosure. But right now, since I don't have any of my old supplies, when I just moved from California, I had like Home Depot buckets full of substrate. I had one that had like sand in it, plain sand. I had one that had earth in it, like dirt. Then I had another one that had this reddish colored dirt. It was called Red Path, that I got from kind of similar like to a home improvement store, but all they sell is like boulders and different like rocks and pebbles and things for like paths to your gardens and stuff like that. But I had a bunch of different buckets of different substrates that were all baked and sterilized that I used to use for my naturalistic enclosures. But I left all that behind. So right now, what I'm going to do is remove her from there. Get those crickets, because that's way too many crickets in there. I'll offer her some food maybe in a week or so once she gets settled into this enclosure. And I'm going to reuse that substrate, which looks fairly clean. Like, tarantulas don't make a big mess. What you will see is when they eat their food, it'll be little pieces of like crickets, or if you feed them dubias, it'll be like a little ball of chewed up food somewhere. And then when they poop, the poop comes out of their mouth, and a lot of them like to smear it, especially like Poecilotheras and Avicularias, the avics. They like to smear it on the walls. And I think she's actually, just by the way she's standing and the movement she was doing, she might be eating right now. A lot of tarantulas stand like that when they're eating, and some of them, when they get their food and they eat, they'll spin around and make a little web mat to eat on. Yeah, this is a little bit of information about them. So I'm gonna reuse that substrate, and I got a couple pieces of cork bark that I bought. I did bring my cork bark that I bought in bulk. I have a whole box downstairs in the garage. Well, it's not a big box, but it's like I think 5 pounds of various pieces. A lot of cork tubes and some flats. It's a mixed box, tubes and flats. So this species is kept dry, so I don't have to worry about mist. Well, I will mist her, but you don't have to worry about like humidity or anything like that. They come from the desert area, Mexico, maybe, yeah, like Mexico. I'm not sure how close to California they span or travel to, but they're a dry species. And I had her out earlier. I handled her in the store, and I actually got hit with some of her urticating hairs when the manager at the pet shop picked her up. And then I let her walk over to my hand, and I held her for a while. But what I'm going to do is a technique called cupping, which simply is placing a cup over her, and then you can use anything flat, but I'm going to use the lid to the cup, and I'm just going to slide it under, and she'll go up the wall a little bit or whatever. Make sure I don't have any body parts in the cup. Close it. I have a little bit of substrate there, but no. Oh yeah, she is eating. So right now you can actually see that this is her mouth here, that she has a couple of crickets in there. So let me grab my flashlight so you can get a better look.
Doezsha.B.
So yeah, after they eat their food, this little ball that you see right now, she'll get all the nutrients and all the good stuff out of it, and then she'll just spit like the shell, all the hard parts of the crickets, like the eyes and the head or whatever that she don't eat. It'll be all in a little nice little ball, and she'll spit it somewhere and deposit it in her enclosure. So I got her here, which is good. I'll grab this other container that I've used to weigh some of my smaller juvenile ball pythons. Now let's grab these crickets out. I'm gonna offer a couple of them to my a.seemanni and my bearded dragons, because she definitely don't need them. She's eating right now, which is a good thing that she didn't discard it. That shows that she's not really stressed, because we all know that when animals are stressed. Okay. There we go. They don't like to eat. So yeah, and just a little bit of webbing that you had laid down, the web matting. So I'll probably use that cup from now until I'm able to get a water dish. And I've seen people have smaller spiderlings. If you have a smaller spiderling and you want to give it a water dish, a good thing to use is, let's see, I think I might have been out of space. I'm not sure yet, we'll see. Okay, now we have that taken care of. I'm just gonna take, this is actually stapled in. That's a pretty good idea that the guy did. Staple one cup in, drop that one in. But yeah, if you have any small spiderlings, water bottle tops work really well. For spiders this size or tarantulas this size, you can use jelly cups or whatever. Or what I like to use is Gatorade tops or sports drinks tops. I use those a lot because it's a food product, so you know it's clean, and then I do clean it after that as well. After I use it, I clean it again to make sure there's nothing sticky on it or whatever. But you know, it's something safe to give to them to drink out of. So I have a couple of pieces of cork that I'm going to use. Use these 4 pieces. They are from an arid area. They like it really dry. And we'll set that up like so, that way it cannot collapse. So I'll bring some of this down here and spread it out some. And usually I have like a bunch of rocks and all that nice stuff to make it look really nice, but right now, since I just moved, I don't have any of that on hand. We'll move these in a little closer. Let's see. Put some substrate behind it. Let's rearrange. I'll come in like that. Can just go like that. Just want it to be supported. It's pretty good there. Make her a nice little hide. Quick and easy. That way she can come out. They make very nice display animals. That's why I love the B.smithi eyes. They're very pretty. But you do want, and I'll have some peat moss somewhere down there. I'm about to go find it in a little bit in my garage. But I just want to do a quick video, get her set up. That way she has a nice little dark spot that she can go retreat to. Actually, I'm going to stop it right here. I'm going to go grab that peat moss because I'm pretty sure I've just seen it. And I will be right back. Okay, so I am back and now I am in screen. I might have been out of screen a little bit earlier, but it happens. I'm still learning curve. But I did find, I think I said peat moss. What I'm going to use is sphagnum moss, and I'm not using it to make collect any humidity or anything like that. And I did find a really cool piece of slate tile that I used to use. I'm just going to use that here for actual support. I'm going to use the cork bark for more of an aesthetics, and basically take some of this stuff here and fill it in. So I'm gonna fill in all these little gaps here, and it just makes it look nice, in my opinion. I could be wrong, but I like the way it looks. So let's get a little bit pay here, a little bit under there. Stretch it out. Little cave-like type. Filling that hole there. Get a little bit more. Then it gives it a bit of color. And being that I'm not going to, this is going to be dry, it should hold its color. This kind of moss, once you wet it, and then and it sits, it kind of loses its green and just turns like a yellowish brown color. What I'm going to do is, fill in a couple little areas here, so when you look into it, for what it is, it'll be somewhat aesthetically pleasing and look like I put some type of effort into making it nice for her or him. Hopefully her. I'm going to take this, I'll just add this to the substrate, which it should be fine. Give it a little bit of color down there. And since she's bigger, I'll put her water bottle in the corner, and I don't really have to worry about putting any pebbles or stones in it and her drowning. But it still is a good idea because you always have crickets that jump into water bowls and end up drowning. So what we have now is basically a nice little setup, dry for B.smithi, being that she comes from like Mexico in a dry area. And what we'll do now is we will, and I'll film her later, that way you guys can see her. I'm going to try to let her out and point her towards her
Doezsha.B's productions.
Her hide. That way she can go in and feel safe, and she won't bombard me with urticarian hairs like she did earlier. But she doesn't have a dry spot, a bald spot, which is good. I'll take this out, run right next door to the bathroom, or down the hall a little bit to the bathroom, rinse it out. And now that I'm back from the bathroom, so I might spill a little bit of water, as long as the ground is not like super moist. She should be fine. And I'm gonna use some or some clean water. Well, the tap water is clean, but purified water. And there you go. She is set up. So what I can use this actually, so we can let her out, but kind of contain her, and that way you can still see what she does once she's out. So I'm just going to gently remove the cup. And this species is fairly handleable, if I don't know if I said that right. Yeah, but it's very pretty. B.smithi. One of my favorites. So I'm gonna get her. She's all set up now. I'm gonna let her unwind and get acclimated to her new environment. I do want to move this piece of moss, but I'm not going to do it right this second because actually I can. I have tools, but I don't want her to bolt. I don't want to stress her. So I'm going to use this here. It's kind of just rearrange it. She can actually, if she bolts, she can squeeze through here and get out. And I don't want her to fall because she's a terrestrial species. She's heavy bodied and they can actually rupture their abdomen if they fall from something that's too high. I will just do this later because I don't want to.
Doezsha.B's production.
Sorry, girlie. You're okay. I promise I won't hurt you. So now she's facing that way, and she has her mouth full of food. I just don't want her to bolt. I'm not scared of her at all. I respect her as an animal. You should respect all animals. That's a little better. I like the way that looks better. So yeah, I'm gonna get her put up and put away. I hope you guys liked the video. This is a little change of pace, a little something different, but yeah, these are some of the animals that I love as well. Love snakes, lizards, reptiles. I mean, all reptiles, amphibians, arachnids, all of the above. Alright guys, Doezsha.B from Doezsha.B Exotics, signing out. Until next time. She's out of frame, so what I'll do here is move this a little bit so you guys can actually see how I set it up. Set up her enclosure. She has a little cave area that she's able to go into. There's a little moss and everything in the corner. And when tarantulas drink, you'll actually see them over their water bowls. Similar to that, but she has food in her mouth right now, so I know she's not drinking. But yes, B.smithi. Alright guys, hope you liked the video. Until next time, Doezsha.B from Doezsha.B Exotics, signing out. Peace.